week I've been thinking about, you know that verse in Romans chapter 8 that says all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. And I've been really thinking about that. You know, oftentimes we refer to that verse in times where we're going through something difficult, when we get bad news or it's a sad situation. And so we console ourselves with that verse. It encourages us and it consoles us that in the end we think, oh, well, everything is in God's hands and everything works together for good for those who love the Lord. But what I want to say is that verse doesn't say all sad things work together for good, all bad things work together for good, all difficult things work together for good. It says all things work together for good. So that means all the good things, all the happy things, all things work together for good, not just the things that we consider bad or sad or difficult times in our lives, but even the good things work together for good. So I was thinking about that because we're actually very blessed at the moment. About 9 months ago, Eileen and John moved in with their mum and dad. Now, for those of you who don't know, Eileen is the keyboard player that we see, and her husband John plays guitar. And about 9 months ago or so, they got some really good news. They went to see the bank manager. He okayed the mortgage. They could sign a house and land package deal with a builder. And instead of paying rent, they decided to move in with mum and dad. Great. You know, mum and dad love to have the kids back home. And so that was a good thing. But what I want to tell you is that right now we are blessed because of that, because some 9 months ago they moved in with mum and dad, because Eileen's dad is our worship leader, Eileen's mum is our translator, and now we've got the younger sister Rachel as well helping us out on the keyboard. We've got a whole family that live together in the one house under the one roof. We couldn't ask for better right now. They're allowed to be out together because they live in the one house under the one roof. And so when they come here, of course, what you don't know at home is that we try very hard to keep our distance. We're not hugging, we're not kissing anybody. We're trying to keep, a metre and a half away from everyone. But they can come together, they can stand together, they can worship. So from the one household, we're being blessed. Yep. And it's like God knew that this was going to happen, that we were going to need this, rather than asking our other worship leaders, because we do have other worship leaders, we've got other singers, we've got other translators, but that means bringing more people together at a time that we don't want to increase the risk. So it made me think, what's happened in your life that God has prepared you for this? Yep. Perhaps you've moved in with family, or family has moved in with you and you're not alone. Perhaps you even, for example, maybe you got a new dog or a new cat, a new pet. No, true, and you feel, I'm not so alone. I've got, a puppy to look after or something.
Can we get a puppy?
No, we can't get a puppy. The other thing is, maybe just in the weeks or months before all this happened, maybe you connected with our church and connected with people in our church, and just having that connection has made all the difference to you. I'm sure that if you stop and think, you might realise that, hey, actually God had prepared something for me so that I wouldn't be as lonely as I could have been, because God already opened the door. God already made a way for me. And so even now, while we're locked in our homes, we can give thanks to God for something that's occurred. And stop and think, because I reckon you'll find something right there that you can give thanks to God about. So when all things work together for good, it actually means all things, the good things and the difficult times, everything works together for good, and God isn't taken by surprise. He's already arranged things so that this time where we're locked in our homes and doing whatever is actually not as bad as it would have been or could have been, because God already prepared stuff. Stop and think, and I'm sure you'll find something. Don't you think?
I think so. Chris.
I think so too.
I think so too, yeah. It's true. I mean, these things don't catch God by surprise.
That's right, yeah.
So he orchestrates certain things to be able to help his children, his spiritual children, to get ready. And when they do happen, they're prepared.
They're prepared. Well, that's it for tonight, isn't it?
That's it for tonight. That's a great encouraging word. And you know what? We miss you
heaps.
But tune in next
week for our weekly update.
Yeah, that one.
The weekly update. God bless you.
Bless you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Or you see us.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.